There's a certain someone that talks about being a king and everything else, but he gives a message and he's not being the message. And when I speak to the boys, they're like, oh yeah, but you'd be a king. And I go, what's a king? And they think it's power. They think it's about success. I'm like, no, a king, the king in all of us is the part of us that has clarity, that has order, that has purpose. He's joyous, he's compassionate, he's empathetic, he's inclusive. The king is the part of us that also is loving and vulnerable and giving. And you see them go, oh my God, what? You see their faces just suddenly go, why does no one tell us this? Why does social media and the people on there think that being a king's about money and planes and Lamborghinis and bossing people around and power? And I'm like, no. Like, this is what being a king is. And you have a warrior inside of us. This is all about action, discipline, and boundaries. And the king says, right, this is my purpose. And I inform my inner warrior that this is where I want to go. I've got clarity. I've got order in my life around my mission. I need to inform you to take the action on that and be disciplined with where we're going. And with that, we have the lover energy, which is all about removing boundaries and being playful and creation, which feeds the magician or the mystic inside of us, which is all about knowledge and transformation. And that's all part of our sack. Like, it's all part of the male psyche, which informs each other all the time. And one of the questions the boy asks is, yeah, but how do I find purpose? And I said to them, purpose could be just concentrating on your mocks the next 8 weeks. That's all purpose has ever got to be. Purpose can only ever be what's right in front of us. Because otherwise it becomes massive. It becomes daunting. It becomes anxiety-inducing if you think you haven't got purpose. But again, we live in a world where we've got purpose coaches. And I'm like, you know what? Again, we're doing the same story. We're coaches trying to tell people we're enlightened to help others, but we're just trying to profiteer again off of each other. And like I say to the boys, your purpose right now, this is a talk I gave on Thursday night, it's just to concentrate on mocks. Then we work from that. Okay, I need clarity. Brilliant. Clarity is these mocks. That's my purpose. Brilliant. What order do I need? Okay, I need to start sitting down and figuring out what's my timetable look like. And then that's where I come in, where I look at this and like, I wish I got taught what I know, which is where I come in with the boys, is we work for all this. We use masculinity as the vehicle, help them understand all this. And then for us to go to the next level, it's all around, my talks are all around inner drivers, like values, attention surplus, attention deficit. So I help them understand their own learning models. I help them understand why you have attention deficit in one area, why you have attention surplus in another, what it represents for you as an individual. And then we lean that into habits. So identity, I'm big on identity. So we build all these foundations for them through my workshops, my work with them. And then what we label to do is us to really come down then to go, what are the outcomes from the purpose, from our king energy? Well, if it's this, let's dive into your identity. Who would you surround? If you want them outcomes, before we put systems and processes in place, because we're great for that as humans. We're like, oh, I want to lose 3 stone. Brilliant. I go to gym 5 days a week. So we put the system in place, we go, and we lose the identity, because after a little while, what we haven't changed is all the things that make up the heart of us, which is the questions like, okay, well, who do I surround myself with? Who do I surround myself with? What environments does the person who creates them outcomes, where does he go to? What books would he read? What podcast was he listen to? Was he willing to cut away from his life? What would he introduce to his life? What time would he go to bed? How much sleep does he get? What food would he introduce into his diet? So all these things formulate the identity of the person that creates the outcomes. From that place of identity, you can then create the systems. And this is what I tell the boys, or work with the boys on, because now you're that person already. So you've suddenly put light on the brain of the person that achieves the outcome. So now you come from a position of power, self-awareness, to put the systems in place that serve the outcome.